everyone, for today's session we will be discussing all about the lexical repetition, and I will introduce myself first. By the way, my name is Lexical and I have with my co-discussants Miss Christine Arellano. Shall we proceed? At first, what is meant by this repetition? So according to Oxford Dictionary, repetition has a few meanings. Including these are the number one, the action of repeating something that has already been said or written. And number two, the reoccurrence of an action or event. And the last one, a piece set by a teacher to be learned by heart and being recited. So, added with this, repetition is a literary device that repeats the same words or phrases a few times to make an idea more understandable or clearer. There are several types of repetition commonly used in both prose and poetry. As a rhetorical device, it could be a word, or a phrase, or a full sentence, or a poetical line repeated to emphasize its significance in the entire text. Repetition is not distinguished solely as a figure of speech but more as a rhetorical device. It may perceive a lot of meanings, but I have here a sample video of this repetition that later on to be discussed by Miss Arellano on what are the types of lexical repetition. So let's watch this.
What is one big mistake that you've made in your life, and what did you do to make it right?
Thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful question. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Las Vegas. You know what, sir? In my 22 years of existence, I can say that there is nothing major problem that I have done in my life, because I am very confident with my family, with the love that they are giving to me. So thank you so much that I am here. Thank you so much.
So again, lexical repetition is often used to increase the degree of emotion. For example, alone, all alone, alone on a wide sea. And now, let's talk about anaphora. What is meant by this anaphora? So, anaphora is a repetition of the same elements at the beginning of some sentences. For example, my life is my purpose, my life is my goal, my life is my inspiration. So, another example of this, Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech entitled I Have a Dream is a famous example as he repeats I have a dream at the beginning of several lines. Again, the definition of this is a repetition of a word or a phrase at the beginning of several subsequent lines. And now, how about ephemera? Any idea? So, one of the most famous example of this ephemera is from Abraham Lincoln's from Gettysburg Address on November 19, 1863. From that lines, that government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth. There is a repetition happen between the word people. Understood? And now let's talk about syntactic parallelism. This method adds balance and rhythm to sentences, giving ideas a smoother flow and thus can be persuasive because of the repetition it implies. For example, Alice ran into the room, into the garden, and into our hearts. We see the repetition of a phrase that not only gives the sentence a balance but rhythm and flow as well. The repetition can also occur in similar structured clauses, just like whenever you need me, wherever you need me, I will be there for you. Thank you for your time, and that's the end of my report, and I will give now to my co-discussants, Miss Christine Arellano. Thank you for your listening, and God bless us all.